Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's partially afternoon here, evening. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope everybody's had some great festivities and everything, and just you're with your family and with your friends, and you're enjoying each other. I'm making a quick video, where I am going to just go by the I'm gonna go by the order of appearance. Let's say for the Q&A that the answers that I'm getting for your questions about the things that I'm tuned into for you, so that obviously you're here to hear about that, right? So I probably could have explained that a little better. Either way, either way. All right, I think we'll be okay. Either way, we so this is for my sisters again. I told you about the Electra from the Pleiades, and the kind of energy, or the kind of transmission or information that I received is that you're going to work with helping people. I don't know if I mentioned this, or I can't remember if we talked about this in the last video. Helping people, the helping people. Then there used to be a priestess at the pyramid, and you work with the pyramid, with water. You did that kind of work, so that was pretty good. Also, there's that there's so they're one of the ascended masters. It's going to be working with you as well. And I guess what I mean is that they're going to present themselves to you, sis, slowly, and I think you're able to understand. And there's a lot of things that I can omit, and I feel that you're ready to accept that you're not going to kind of retract into your ego again, thinking, well, I was this, or I was that, or I have this ego trip over you, thinking that I'm better than anyone else. In fact, with great power comes great responsibility. So it's just a way of being more humble and expressive, and being less drunk on power, and all this kind of stuff, where we see that politicians and people in power are just brutal and horrible and bad, unaware, or just not very well adapted to a lifestyle where you'd have to be a leader for others, and be that person that's good for everybody, not just for your close group of friends, and that kind of stuff. You know how this planet goes, right? I think we know what we mean here. Anyway, so you're going to be working with the ascended master. I should have probably showed you a picture in my tablet. His name is Moyra, El space Moyra. He is wanting to communicate with you. So when I said that you wouldn't have an ego trip, or you wouldn't have that kind of relief, and filled with this energy for you, which is fine. I do that too. Sometimes I think I'm the king of the world, right? And it happens. We all have it, and it's possible that it could happen to you. Either way, the way that he's going to express himself to you would be simply by just giving you ideas, right? Projecting ideas, or maybe giving you a sense of direction of where we need to go with a certain concept, or a certain understanding of what you are experiencing, and how you're going to help people on this planet. Now, I know what you're asking, and I think you've had this question lingering. You've had the question lingering for a while, where is that, why am I not helping others in the way I thought that I could? Why couldn't you just give them this advanced information in the way that you should, right, sis? Because we have to prepare them, the audience, the teachers have to prepare the students for them to accept this kind of knowledge for them, to see how well they're going to adapt. And you work a lot on yourself, so it's easy for an ascended master to look into your energy field and capture the potential that you have. So I don't want to lead you too much into a road where you might deviate from what's good for yourself and for everybody. And then you're going to come along and you're going to have certain gifts that are going to just expand and grow. It's part of the God source energy that is allowed to manifest itself through you in this physical realm, where people might think that you are just real good at prediction the future, or you're just damn straight on things that make sense and people can understand and comprehend. And having a following takes away from teaching and showing a lot of things. I'm projecting a lot of energy that's going to manifest itself outside of me towards you specifically, but then also a wider audience that watches my video. And that's going to take away a lot of my abilities with the things that I can do, unless I meditate, unless I center myself, I align my chakras, I connect with my whole, essence of myself, because you're putting out information, and that could lead you into a wrong path. So it happens to everyone, including me myself, right? And the way that people adore and appreciate, what source has to offer them. So you are in reverence to a greater source than yourself. And that lives within every single one of us. No matter how small your spark of light is, still quite a bit of spark in there, right? So El Moyra and the seven sisters of the Pleaides, Electra, yes, that is accurate. I had 4 of the sisters of the Pleaides convene with me, right? And I think there's someone that you talk to that can explain a little better without having to go through all this, because I think I'm going for a wider audience of people that just don't want to hear me talk, but just want to understand a lot of things. So this is just a little excerpt. I met 4 of the sisters. We had this conversation. I think you know what I mean. We had a conversation, and then they just convened, and they were there. They kind of wanted to hang out with their energy, just like you want to hang out with your son, or you want to hang out, or your son wants to hang out with you. They want to hang out. They wanted to hang out with me in that way. And then I just drew it like this, specifically for me, but 3 of them are not incarnated on this planet. But then one of the daughters, the one that we always thought was our daughter, the daughter of the Pleaides, did incarnate on the planet. So the way that I saw her energy was full, complete. It's always a purplish blue Pleiadian color that I get out of the Pleiades, specifically for me, but they come out in different rays of light as a manifestation of what their consciousness is, because they're alive, they're just not here, but you can connect with their conscious, and it's projected in your movie mind. It's projected through your movie mind, and then you can have a conversation with them. I'll show you what the movie mind is in a second. So then this one was a little lighter. I did that on purpose because this person is incarnated on the planet. One of the daughters, the daughter that's here, that you'd have to keep safe and protect, etc. So I did see them all, but then this one is just a little lighter in shade, meaning that her consciousness is just a little splintered because you can. They're in more than one place at once, right? I mean, that's interesting to know. So the example that you want to hear about your conversation and your question, it's very simple. Let's say you have 10 seeds in your hands, and how the mind of source in that sense can tell which kind of those seeds it's going to have the potential to grow and be something for themselves. And then that's what they saw in you. If you want to give that a metaphor for you to understand, like, why me? Why am I chosen? Why am I the one that gets to be touched in this way? And it's almost like playing favorites. If you think that everyone has a chance of manifesting and being their own potential to themselves, right? And a lot of people get lost in that. There could be aquatic being or anyone from any single other planet here that loses themselves into a 3D planet of grief, pain, loss, joy, financial difficulties, circumstances beyond their control. In the higher dimensions, sis, everything has a hierarchy. And even though we might think it's king and queens as a bad thing because of the experience we have here on Earth, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the archetypes that we know as king and queens, as an example here, aren't just a better way of expressing them in different parts of the universe, where that they're just benevolent beings, right? And they're just they're like celebrities, but I can only give you the example based on the planet they were in. So it's a colored experience of how I can express it to you, but it's the way that I understand it for myself, right? So that's okay when you see them and you think that you should, they wouldn't want to be your friends or go have a drink. It's not like that, okay? It's not like you're meeting the King of England where you have certain protocols specifically. There's reverence and respect, but either way, we're all here on the same planet. No, so it's just not. I hope I'm getting it through here. I am. I hope so. Either way, we're going through that now with the seven sisters and everything that goes along with the. No, I lost my train of thought here. Either way, so there's the movie Mind, which I guess I'll end it here. I don't think I'm getting any more of your Q&A. I can explain how a Q&A scenario works, and it's very simple actually. So the movie Mind is more like this. I'm gonna darken it up a bit. Hold on. It's like this, right? You project your consciousness here, and you share a space with another individual when you go to a higher dimension. Right? So then it would look something like this. Right? So you're still physical, but you can project your consciousness so you can communicate at a higher dimension. So for the example we have here, it's not completely necessary because we can talk with you and I. And this is just for explaining it maybe like this in this way because the Pleiadians are in a higher dimension than us. You know what I mean? So they're at that level, but then it would still look like this. I wouldn't want to put this one person on a higher pedestal and then put the line going across like this, so to speak, right? Because we communicate in that way where we raise our consciousness when you do your meditations, and then we're still kind of going like this, even though they're somewhere else. I didn't want to project it as then anyone being better than you or I in that case, just because we're human beings here, right? They treat us all the same either way. But then that's how that's the way that you would communicate in this way. So depending on the filters and depending on the filters and depending on the things that we have for ourselves and the way that we have a colored reality of how your existence is tiered and measured here on planet Earth, then you'll receive, right? But then your ego might just get in the way of yourself. My ego gets in the way every single time. You need to understand that it does. If you think that you can just cover up the sun with your hand and think that it's gone and it's not there anymore just because you're covering it doesn't mean it doesn't shine for everyone else. It'll shine for every single person that's on the planet. So if you accept the ego instead of pushing it away, if you acknowledge its existence, then you can understand that it's always there for you, right? If you remember there's a lot of Marvel movies that come out throughout the years, and the Hulk is one of the characters that I saw him do a quote. I'm quoting something he said. I'm paraphrasing something he said in one of the movies, and he's the Hulk, but now he knows he's the Hulk. He doesn't lose his mind. Bruce Banner doesn't lose his mind and gets carried away by his Hulk ego anymore, right? Where the ego bash. Think about it, right? He's bashing. He doesn't have any idea where he is when he's not in the Hulk anymore, and his ego hasn't overcome that. And he lands somewhere. He's in a pile of garbage in somewhere and wherever. And he's like, "What happened? What did I do?" And someone has to tell him. He's like, "Oh no, the Hulk again. That son of a gun." Well, there's further on in the movie universe, further along in the movies, he's the Hulk, but he's conscious that he's Bruce Banner as well. So he's Bruce Banner, and he's green, and he's strong, and he's him, right? That's the the control that he has over the Hulk, which is like an alter ego for him. And in one of the scenes, I think some of the other characters, one of the other fictional characters, ask him, "How do you do it?" And he says something about, the Hulk is always angry. And he just says, "I'm just really angry all the time." But he's in this calm demeanor of his way of able to control the Hulk, right? While being Bruce. You know what I mean? Both at the same time. So that's just my example of the communications that you're going to start having. Your wonderful seed, a lot of higher beings can see that You're not a brand new born soul on this planet. You've been here before. You have the knowledge, and I don't peek into your consciousness or your existence that way. I would like to know what planet you're from or what constellation you might be from. That's just me, and I don't care. But it's my my interest in wanting to know just for myself, right? But yeah, Elmora. Sorry it's taking so long. Elmora and Electra are just going to reach out to you, right, as best as they can. Also, you got your Christmas present too, right? Didn't you get your Christmas present just like I said you would? You've received your Christmas present, and the best way to get the Christmas presents and any other subsequent present that you might be getting in the future would be to have the presents appear under the Christmas tree instead of you just waiting for Santa Claus to come down through the chimney so that you could see Santa Claus. I prefer that instead. When you get your presents on Christmas and the clock strikes noon, you're not sitting around waiting to see him coming down the chimney. Just let that appear magically on in front of your desk or however it's gonna happen for you because that's probably the best way, and it just helps Santa Claus be Santa Claus instead of just unmasking Santa Claus, right? Because we know who Santa Claus is. Either way, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. I'm actually very excited for you, sis, and I think you know who I'm referring to. Uh, have a good rest of your evening, and thank you for joining. And I'll think up of something else that might happen here with your wonderful experiences that you're having. So, hope I see you guys soon, and enjoy the rest of your week.